Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna take a look at hot chocolate, specifically 3 different ways how to make hot chocolate, which is classic brown one. We're gonna make a white hot chocolate, and I'm gonna show you how to make the hot chocolate powder. If you haven't already, hit subscribe up there and let's get started. So first we're going to start with our most important ingredient, chocolate. We're gonna use 1.5 ounces or 42 grams of milk chocolate and 2 ounces or 56 grams of dark chocolate. I used the 72% cacao, which means that it has less sugar and has a higher cacao percentage, and it has a richer flavor. If you don't like that too much, then you can also do it half-half or 3/4, 1/4. I recommend playing around with it until you get the ratio that you really like. Definitely make sure you get a high quality chocolate, which makes a big difference in this whole chocolate endeavor that we're doing here, because keep in mind it's the main ingredient, so spend a little more money on chocolate. Now we're going to heat up the chocolate and gonna melt it. So we're gonna turn on stove to low to medium high heat, and we're gonna add 2.5 cups or 600 grams of milk, 1/4 cup or 60 gram of heavy cream, and then we're gonna stir it frequently and wait until the chocolate is melted. Then we're gonna add 1.5 tablespoons of cocoa powder, and we're gonna add 1 to 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, depending how sweet you want it. I like to add also some vanilla, so you can add like fresh vanilla to it. You can also add some vanilla sugar or around 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. It's completely up to you. Also, I like to add 1 cinnamon stick and let the whole thing simmer for around 10 minutes until the flavor really can develop. And that's it. That's the whole thing, and this is probably one of the best chocolates you had in a while. Now we're going to top it off with some heavy whipped cream if you want to, or you can also use some mini marshmallows to put on top, and enjoy your hot chocolate. Play around with it and let me know which flavor you like the best, what you do with yours, before we're going over to our white hot chocolate, which is easier to make than the dark hot chocolate and tastes, I would say, different. I love both of them. I personally prefer the darker one, but I also really like the white hot chocolate. So we're gonna start with 400 milliliters or 1.5 cups of whole milk. We're gonna add 100 milliliters or half a cup of heavy cream, and then we're gonna add 130 grams or 4.5 ounces of white chocolate. We're gonna mix all that together until everything is melted nicely. We're gonna add 1 teaspoon of sugar. I also like to add a little pinch of cinnamon and nutmeg, as well as some salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. That's the whole thing. That's literally it. Let it heat up, make sure everything is melted nicely, put it into a glass, and that's the white hot chocolate. I topped this one with some peppermint flavored mini marshmallows. Yes, only because I bought them by accident, but it actually tasted quite nice. So I would recommend it if you like the mint flavor. Otherwise, just drink it how it is or add some whipped cream or whatever you want to put on top. Next, we're going to make our own homemade instant hot chocolate powder, which recipe I adapted by Kenji Lopez. All to change a few little things, but just to be fair. We're going to start with 4 ounces or 113 grams of dark chocolate. I used the one with 100% cocoa powder. Then we're gonna cut them into small pieces, you can see right here, before we add it into our food processor. You should be able to store this powder for around 2 to 3 months if you put it into a mason jar and keep it dry and cold. So now we're gonna add all the other ingredients together. First we add the chocolate, then we're gonna add half a cup of cocoa powder, half a cup of white sugar. We're also gonna add around 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch, just that the whole thing will not stick together and will get thicken the whole hot chocolate. We're gonna add half a tablespoon of salt. I like to use 1 pack of vanilla sugar, as well as 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. The last 2 ones are completely optional, totally up to you. Now we're gonna start our food processor. You can see there might be some steam coming out, some dust, and let it run for around 2 to 3 minutes, just until you really have some nice finely coated powder, as you can see right here. And that's the whole thing. That's how easy it is to make your own homemade instant hot chocolate powder. I like to store mine in a mason jar. As you can see here, I used a funnel to put it in. it didn't work that well, if I can spoil that already. As you can see here, it got stuck. So I wouldn't do that. Just use a piece of paper or something and just use it as a slide and put the whole thing in. Will save you a lot of mess and time, trust me, and frustration. So, and also don't do that because you most likely will spill a lot of it, as you can see right here. So now we're gonna clean the rim and we're going to close it, and that's it. That's literally it. That's how easy it is to make your own homemade instant chocolate powder. And again, thanks so much for watching this video. Hope you liked it. If not, sorry for wasting your time. And everyone who liked this video, do me a favor, hit subscribe up there. More videos are coming next week.